AIDS. Who here thinks they know what AIDS is? AIDS has caused more deaths than heart disease, suicide, drug abuse, and homicide in America itself. Some of you may be asking yourself, why do we need to know about this? Well, at this age, you would need to know about this information so that way you could be cautious around this disease. AIDS has killed 2.8 million children of ages 15 and older in just 2017. As you can see, this affects our generation. Don't worry, I have researched just enough information for this topic. In this speech, you will know how AIDS was first discovered, how AIDS are transmitted, and what are the effects of AIDS in your body. Let's talk about how AIDS started in the first place. How was AIDS discovered? According to History of AIDS by Merkel Grimmick, in chapters 6 and 13 in 1975, virologists had developed a vaccine called hepatitis B. In order to make this vaccine, scientists would need 2,500 liters of human plasma, a yellowish substance in your blood that holds your blood cells together. With this amount of human plasma, they would mix it with a medical device called Ethiopian plasma to prepare this vaccine. The product was tested on chimpanzees. When injected into chimps, their blood had a genetic effect with the vaccine, causing the birth of AIDS. Researchers believe at this time scientists weren't as cautious as they are today, due to the leakage of the chimpanzee's blood, which eventually made its way to humans. While this is how it was discovered in America, West Africa would approach a similar discovery between 1969 and 1982. Monkeys called macaques had several strains of SIV in their muscles, a virus in monkeys that has similar traits as HIV/AIDS. These animals were infected through natural circumstances, running wild. As over time, the virus became more lethal as it passes through several macaques. As over time, they suffer from severe illness, causing them to lose strength in their body. Scientists believe African hunters hunt these monkeys and eat them, transferring the SIV virus in the human bloodstream, once again causing AIDS. Over decades, the virus spread throughout Africa and other parts of the world. To this day, people around the globe still suffer from this deadliest disease. Now that we know how AIDS started, we will analyze how AIDS are transmitted from one person to another. What are the different ways AIDS are transmitted? According to the AIDS, a handbook for the future by Marilyn LeBerg in chapter 30, the number one cause of contracting AIDS is sexual activity. This pertains to both hetero and homosexuals. As AIDS are in males' semen and females' vaginal secretions. During sex, AIDS are transmitted from one partner to another. For young females, they are more vulnerable due to the thin tissues inside their vagina, which provides a direct route to their bloodstream. For young males, the tube inside the penis that carries the semen and the urine from the body is a direct route for the bloodstream of the males. The second cause of AIDS being transmitted is injection of drug use. In the United States, 1.2 million people inject illegal drugs into their system, sharing dirty needles, which causes them a risk of becoming infected of the virus. You can't tell who is infected or whether or not the needle being used is clean. The third cause of AIDS being transmitted is blood transfusion. Contaminated blood that is donated to blood banks, then given to hospitals, which is given to the patients by blood transfusion, making them to have the risk of becoming a victim to the exposure of AIDS. People who have major injuries such as car accidents, surgeries, gun violence, anything that causes you to lose blood, you will need a blood transfusion. Now that we know what are the different ways AIDS are transmitted, we will discuss how AIDS can affect your body. What are the different effects you will have since you have AIDS in your body, in your system? From the website, the effects of HIV on your body. Once you have AIDS, it destroys your immune system. The cells that will fight off the invaders. Without treatment, your immune system is severely weakened, leaving you at risk of serious illness and infections. The first stage of having AIDS is after a few months, you may experience a flu-like sickness that lasts weeks. Symptoms can include fever, night sweats, headaches, joint pains, sore throats, and other symptoms listed here. The second stage can last an average of 8 to 10 years. In some cases, it lasts longer. Some symptoms can include diarrhea, sore throat, fever, weight loss, and shortness of breath, and other symptoms listed here. You would have 10 years of the first and second stage. Then once HIV becomes full-blown AIDS, there is no known cure. Death is inevitable. Your lifespan is at least 1 to 2 years. Besides all this information about AIDS, you now know how this disease started, transmits, and affects your body. AIDS was discovered in America in 1975 by a vaccine called hepatitis B, but it was also discovered in Africa through monkeys. It transmits by sexual activity, injection, drug use, and blood transfusion. Finally, it affects your body by having multiple symptoms from the first and second stages. This deadly disease that has more deaths than suicides, drug abuse, homicides, and heart disease is a horrific thing to have in your life. Just remember, a disease like this, you will not have a second chance. Be cautious and use protection because AIDS are hitting anybody you may or may not know. Thank you.